Hello everybody, nice to see you. Please bear with me 1 minute. Thought I'd let you guys have a nice little view while I continue to look for something. Can I find it though? No. I'll just have some water so I'm ready. How are you all? It's very nice to see you all. Let's have a little look, see who I've got here. Hi, Sarah and the girls. Nice to see you. Hi, Janie. Hi, Emily and Carol, Maria, KS, Kim, Dahlia, Lisa, Jeannie, Katie, Jerry. Hello. Hi, Sheila and Kim, Dahlia, Vicky, Joy, Julie May, Viola, Gregory, Kay, Christine, Joanne, Ken, Charity, Sharon. Hello, Luann. Nice to see you. My second tour. I think you might have been with Erica just now, right? Let's see what awaits today's craziness. I hope no craziness. We'll see. So far, so good, right? Hi, Mindy, Laurie, Laura, Lauren, Jeanette, Mindy. I'm in Kyoto, yeah. Hi, Hanif and Kyle and Kayla, Dawn, Luann. Hello, lovely to see you all, everybody. Look at all these. Lovely, right? So lovely. I'm sure you've heard all about cherry blossoms with lovely Erica just now. Welcome, everybody. Oh, Leo is here. Hello, my darling. Hello, Leo. Nice to see you. Let me get this baby off. I know Erica takes her mask off. So I'm going to see what I can do. Where is the sponsor button? I think it's next to the tip bottom. It's not. My mind, honestly, it's next to the tip button. So if you'd like to sponsor me, then it will do a fanfare and I'll do a happy dance. So that would be lovely. So I've listed this tour as 45 minutes, but if you guys would like to stay with me for an hour, then I'm happy to give you an hour. If something fantastic happens at the end and you want to stay even longer, I've got longer for that too. So let's see what happens. Hi, Andrew and Mary. Nice to see you all. Hi, Pat. Pat, thanks for leaving a tip. Lovely. That means a lot. That contributes towards my train ticket here. So hello, everybody. I've got hay fever like nothing else. So a little bit coughing like, ohayou gozaimasu. So we've got lots and lots of lovely blossoms here, and we're going to go and have a look at this Takase river. Actually, the river is very, very long. It's almost 10 kilometers long. I've walked 1 kilometer of that this morning, and we're going to walk 3 more. Excuse me. 1 minute, something awful has happened to my throat. Seeing as I just had water, that doesn't really make sense, but bear with me a minute. I'm not blessed with this microphone that doesn't have an off button, so all I can do is be real with you guys. Did I really just get a new sponsor? Thank you so much. Lovely. What a nice way to do it. So it is very nice and surprising when sponsors like suddenly leave their sponsorship for me. But it's extra fun when they do it on a tour. I realize that my voice sounds really peculiar, doesn't it? I sound very strange. So right now, we're not next to the blossomy part, but there are loads and loads of blossoms to come. Lots of lovely little shops along the way as well. So I hope you'll stick with me and have a nice time on this sunny day. I can hear music in the distance, but who knows why? It's actually a kind of political season in Japan, I think. So there are lots of votes and things happening. The same with around the world, I think. But it could be for a supermarket or anything. Who knows? So bear with me. I wanted those of you that came early to see those blossoms at the beginning, but we're going to cross the road over here before we get into the kind of main bustle of blossoms and things. So if you think I'm going a little bit fast right now, please don't worry. I will be slowing right down for the blossoms. Wonder who? Yeah. I think Gregory's taking full liberties with this using the question-making button. Where is the happy dance? The happy dance is right in my face. It's you! Hello, Charity. Thank you so much, lovely. Thank you so much for becoming one of my sponsors. Please make sure you email me at MissKendalJames@mail.com. Email me your address if you like, because then I can send you cards and things that I make if you'll have me. So, woo! Here's my happy dance. Thank you so much. So this is the green part of the river, but we've got tons and tons of blossoms to come. Lovely. Welcome to the team, Charity. Thank you. Hi, Rio. Nice to see you. Did you all have a nice time with Eriko just now? So I can see loads of lovely blossoms in the distance. We're in the heart of Kyoto, actually. We're just off to the side of one of the very, very main streets. So you might be finding this bit not so attractive. But that's fine. That's fine. It's got loads of mansions everywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Ken says, maybe biased, but Kendall is worth the sponsor. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. So normally I say normally, but last year, it was only about a year and a bit since I'd actually been a guide on Heygo. So I would normally start the tour at a different area entirely so that you would already be in the thick of the blossoms. But you know I like to provide context, and you know I like to provide new views. So just bear with me. We're going to do like a boring froggy crossing the road situation over here. But I hope you'll have me for it. And then it'll be all pink and little houses thereafter. But I think it's really one of my favorite things in a tour is when the guide sort of shows off the area, even if it's noisy like this. So what you'll get in a moment is a contrast between this noise and the quiet of the canal that we'll be walking down. Now, as I said, the canal is, I think it's like 9.2 kilometers. So it's very, very long. We're not walking all of that. We'll be walking the juicy heart of it in a second. Hello. But especially for those of you that can't normally travel around here. Hi, everyone coming in, John and Audra. Mummy's here. Especially for those of you that find yourselves not usually able to travel, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's quite interesting to get to see all of the bits that aren't just touristy, all of the bits in between too. Hello, Mummy. That means my fiance and my mummy are both in the chat, which is lovely. And I think people have their favourite guides on Heygo for different reasons, right? So I'm hoping that kind of context is one of the reasons that you like my tours. It's a beautiful day here in Kyoto. It's going to get to about 18 degrees. I'm wearing a nice pink dress and a warm white fluffy cardigan. But my rucksack, because of the cardigan, lifts up my dress at the back. And so a lady just had to tell me that my whole bottom was showing, which is just no good, is it? Well, it might be good. Or, I don't know. It depends what kind of pedestrian you are, I suppose. But I've got not just underpants, but underpants on. So I can't imagine it was too exciting. Her inquiry did indeed give it away. Right, here we are. We should mostly be on a quiet track of it here now. I'll just go over to this side. But it's going to be lovely. I'm going to go inside this little park before we go straight up and across. And I'm going to get you lots of nice, what I like to call, juicy close-ups of the lovely blue sky. Exactly, that is a different kind of creepy from yesterday. So these are just past the full bloom stage. Hi, Hannah. It's nice to see so many of my lovely sponsors in the room, in the space, and lots of you in general. So we're going to have kind of canopies of of flowers. And then what I like a lot is the really interesting shops and things. We've got modern shops and old shops that'll be in between everything. If you're wondering why I said shops instead of stores, it's because I'm British. I imagine I've caught an early enough time for it to be, it's midnight in the UK, so I wonder if a few people in the UK are up enjoying a little blossomy feast before they go to bed. So thank you very much. And if you are in the UK or Europe, please do check out my other tours, because I've just launched a few that don't normally happen for you guys, and you'll be able to enjoy them soon, like Hikonian and Hikone Castle. So do check those out. Ooh, I'll try and get a little focus on this one. I'm determined. It might be a bit low lighting in this side. Thank you. Check out these tours. So Gregory says, I love that you understood whatever Japanese vocabulary she used to describe to you, you know, that factor of my skirt riding up. Shall I teach you guys? Would you like to know? First of all, she said, ano, which just meant, excuse me. And then after, she said, sukato wa, so she just basically said that. She made a few uncomfortable gestures and sounds, and she said sukato. Skato is how you say skirt in Japanese. So there you go. Not too difficult after all. So in Japan, they have Japanese style clothing, which is called wafuku, I think is wafuku. Anything wa something is usually the Japanese version of it. And then yofuku is Western style clothes. Gosh, look at this beautiful one. So this is past full bloom. You can see these lovely these leaves poking out as well. Sorry, I had to give that a little touch. And that's how you can tell that it's past full bloom. But this is one of the most beautiful times to see the blossoms, I personally think. And in a couple of days, they'll start to really drop. But yeah, Ryo here, he says he's watching this from a crowded train, so he's off to work today. Don't get the impression that he's a really busy worker. He had yesterday off and he has Mondays off too. So I don't know how I feel about this fiance of mine. But myself, I too had to get the crowded train. So I'm awake earlier than ever. I woke up at the actual crack of dawn to be able to get here to do this tour for you guys today. So I hope you have a nice time, and thank you all so much for being here. Hi, Trisha. So as there's so many of you here right now, almost 100, that's lovely. Thanks, Henny, for the tip. I think one or two other people did too. As there's so many of you, I'll just introduce myself again. So my name is MissKendalJames. You can find me online as MissKendalJames. I've got lots of lovely YouTube videos for you to check out. Those are both uncut tours from Heygo as well as edited videos as well. So I hope that you enjoy those. These little shots here for my lantern fiends, such as Lisa. But this one's a little bit cobwebbed, isn't it? This one's at the bottom end of the canal, so people aren't so interested in cleaning these ones. Hello, Trisha. Nice to see you. And just here, we've also got white buddleia. Mum, you're there, right? There's usually purple buddleia in the UK. This one's looking a bit, I'm going to call it like in Japan, one of the festival foods that you can get is a banana that's covered in chocolate. It looks basically like a banana covered in chocolate, if you ask me. Thank you, Larry. I think everyone might have covered my train ticket with your tips now. So thank you very much. I realise you won't all be able to come to my tour later, but I'm taking you to the most beautiful castle in Japan, as said by so many sources, and at full bloom cherry blossom season. So I hope you can come to that. And if not, do check it out on YouTube at another time. Julie says, I have purple in my garden, but there is a white one in a lodge nearby. Oh, lovely. Hi, Mike. Thank you very much for giving me a follow. Mary Lou will be there. You wouldn't miss it. Yeah, if you're in America and Canada and you're a night owl, you're fine. Let me take a moment to just show you this. I'm thinking it's a hotel. I've actually not paid too much attention to it before. But this is one of the things I love about Japan and the Japanese architecture. It really is, as you expected it might be, in this kind of wood panel looking way. It's really gorgeous. And right now we're walking along, as you can see in the About section, we're walking along the Takase River. It's a canal that was created in 1611 at the start of the Edo period in Japan. And it was created so that there could be lots and lots of trade throughout the city. And basically it was a really rich time of trade. It's when all of Japan's wealthiest merchants started coming into our field of view. And that's why down in Shiga, where I live, which is 25 minutes on the train, 25 minutes and very reasonably priced. It's about $6, which is really good. My tour later will cost about $25 to get to, but considering the distance I'd travel, I think that's a really good price as well. The name of the river is in the About section, lovely. So it's Takase, Takase River. You might read that differently in your native tongue, but in Japanese, that's how you pronounce it. So I can walk on both sides over here. I think you're not necessarily meant to walk directly on the roadside, but at night time, this whole area gets lit up really nicely as well. Hi, Fawn and Kay. If anyone came in a little bit later and didn't get a direct hello, let me know. You know I love to give a little hello. Hi. So are you guys wondering how I'm combating the skirt issue? I'm not skirting around it. I've combated it. It's a kind of uncomfortable fix. I'm carrying my bag on one shoulder, which is probably not going to go down well for my bag or for me. What class is Danette? Are you talking to me or somebody else? Let me know and I can answer that question, hopefully. Good question, Marion. I have lived in Japan for 3 years and 3.5 years. Thank you. Ken approves of my skirting around joke. Now, what can you see here? Eagle-eyed, regular voyagers of mine. You can see a little bit of a power cable. I love the power cables so much. So I'll be trying to get you some juicy blossom and power cable shots. Now, we're only 15 minutes into the 45-minute tour. And as I said, if you guys would like to stay longer, I'll have longer. We are not at the most beautiful part of the river yet. This is kind of a little context game I like to play. So I've lived in Japan for 3.5 years, but in Japan, 3 of those years, in fact, 3 of those years, almost exactly, have been really high focus coronavirus years, sadly, because we experienced coronavirus from February 2020. So my experience in Japan has been quite different to that many of my friends would have, but in so many ways, it's been even more special, having the streets to myself and things as well. Oh, Danette, that's answered a few questions, hasn't it? Hi, Sergio and Robert. So Danette has been posting loads of Kendall traps online. And by that, I mean she's been posting pictures of loads of food that looks like it's made with fruit or vegetables or, I don't know, it's Mexican or it's yellow or something. These are what I'm calling Kendall traps. So she's been posting loads of those on Facebook. And I see now it's because she's going to go and get a culinary degree. That's very exciting, lovely. You think this looks like the back of Wellington? Wellington where? That sounds like a very British place name. Hi, Liz and Karen. Nice to see you. Okay, I'm going to pick up the pace because we want to get over to the super nice bit, don't we? So because this is a Blossom walking postcard tour, you are welcome to ask me questions. I don't want you to be scared off by any guides that say no questions. You guys are welcome to ask me questions as you like. And don't worry, I'll be getting lots and lots of close-ups. And we're coming up to the start of the best parts of this lovely canal walk. Now, this canal is parallel to the Kamo River. The Kamo River is really, really famous and has lots of lovely, beautiful blossoms. This is a much, much smaller street. I like getting elevation shots. So I'll stop every now and again and get you a kind of elevation. And that's the kind of word I've got from having studied interior design and architecture at university. And I get you a kind of head-on shot. And may I thank those of you that have left me reviews recently. They've been very lovely to read. Wellington, New Zealand, am I right to say that if you put NZ, power lines and small shops? I love it. In the UK, we don't have that. but I really like it. Here we have a very typical sight on Japanese shops and things. This is their entrance point. So don't post direct mail. Ooh, it's saying not to put the important mail in the post box because it's the public facing post box. Excuse me. So I'll just show you a little look down this side. You know what? I am going to take you just for a quick look at the Kamogawa River because it is going to give you a little bit more context. And you can see the scale of it in comparison to what we're looking at as we continue the walk that we're on. You might say, why are we going down the tiny street when we can go down this big old river? Well, for starters, it's too bright over here. But look, can you believe that? We were walking just alongside such a big river. Yeah, I studied architecture for a year and interior design thereafter. All of the interior designers studied architecture for the first year because the foundation skills that we needed were the same. But yes, if you wonder why I'm interested in all those lines and things, that's why. And here's the back side of it, the Kamogawa River. Actually, a little bit further along there, about a kilometre, is where me and my partner like to have drinks. And loads of people like to have drinks and watch the sun go down. Oh, Lauren, lovely. Lauren says, I've seen photos of this river. Yeah, this is the most famous spot for just coming to chill. Or if you're my partner, and I don't know, a desperate young man, he calls it a fishing spot. So there's a bit further up. We're going to walk past Sanjo Station area, and he calls it his fishing spot to like get girls. But he should be so lucky. He's more shy than that implies he is, so don't get any wise ideas that he's had loads of girls, because he hasn't. Thanks, Honor Car. That's very nice of you to leave me a tip. So that beautiful natural kind of site coming up to, and now we're going to transition back into the small street again. Yeah, we're very close to Gion, actually. Ren has said it reminds them of Gion. Yeah, we're close to Gion area. In fact, we're going to kind of pass it. We're going to cross it. Thank you, Helen. Hello, Carol. Mary Lou, is it a different Mary Lou that's joined? You don't have an alter ego, do you, Mary Lou? Double Mary Lou's. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. So I live in Shiga, and if you are able to look on your little map, in that next to the about section there should be a little map, then you can see the largest lake in Japan, Lake Biwa. And around Lake Biwa and up in the mountains around us, we get all of our cherry blossoms a little bit later. So whereas these ones are just a little bit past full bloom, and we're very, very blessed to have such lovely weather, because lovely weather means that the blossoms are going to last that much longer, which is great. But for me, I'm lucky enough to live in Shiga, so they're going to last even longer for me as well, which is just showing off, to be honest, isn't it? Just showing off. I saw something mentioned earlier. Let me see. Oh, I have to say the chat jumps around in a really strange way since the last update. There are two Mary Lou's. Hi, Leslie and Patrick. So I'm going to take you to a lovely little bridge spot in just a second. I'm going to get some really nice postcards. Now, if any of you have been following me, oh, look, there's even a cafe that's called Kawa Cafe. Maybe going with the Kawa means river, which is lovely. Saying River Cafe. There are some really nice little shops and things here, but it's only just after 8 a.m. So there's not really anything going on here right now. And in Japan, sadly, I say sadly, because I'm a freelance person and I like to arrange meetings and things that happen in the morning so that it's the only way I can wake up for my day. Usually I don't really wake up very early unless I've got to do it for people or money. And usually people equal money if I'm lucky as a freelance person. But the cafes in Japan generally don't open until 11 a.m., which, as I'm sure you can imagine, isn't really useful if I need to arrange a meeting or if I need to try and get myself up for the day. So little buddleia here. And these buddleia are going to make me sneeze. So if I sneeze, I apologize. So yeah, if you think it's extra sleepy, that's why. We've got some gorgeous views here. We're coming up to it just being pretty, 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 pretty. You might think that was a lot of context, Kendall, but hopefully you feel like you really did, I don't know, do some of the walk with me. I had actually already walked about 20, 25 minutes from the station. Even Helen says Starbucks are open at 4:30 a.m. where she is. That's ridiculous. No, you got to hang out at the you got to hang out at the convenience stores and the karaoke joints if you want to be awake and doing things at that time. Yes, Laurie, those are lights in the water. So this area looks fantastic at nighttime. I'm thinking about a nighttime tour, but I wonder. I might do a nighttime tour next week, but the blossoms would have fallen off into the water, so it'd be a different kind of tour. However, I'm also thinking about just showing off Shiga as much as I can. I launched a couple more tours yesterday, so do check them out. This blossom kind of experience is going to last for about another 8 or 9 days with me being where I am. But then if I could divert your attention to Delana. Delana has some incredible tours coming up. She's a new guide. She's only been on Heygo for about 5 or 6 months. And if Ken or someone lovely would please share a little link to her. She's got some great tours, but it's a bit of a struggle for us new guides on Heygo. We don't get the same kind of interaction from everybody that the very, very big guides do. And it's even more of a struggle for us ones that are in Asia, unfortunately. But Delana lives in North Japan. So if you guys love cherry blossoms more than anything else in the world, then you're just going to have to follow her too, because she'll have cherry blossoms in May, which is just fantastic. And yes, her tours are good. Look at that, fresh looking copper. And someone like, why are you taking pictures of the building? Starbucks is 24/7 in Canada. Well, Starbucks is an institution here in Japan. I don't necessarily want to give it much more time than I think it's worth. I go there 1 or 2 times a year. 1 to 3 times a year I go there. I go there in Japan. But in the UK, you'll have found me going there 1 to 3 times in my entire life. I don't really like it in the UK. In Japan, I like it more, but only because it's seasonal. But it's a bit tricky with all these big companies in general, I think. But everybody loves it here. Well, not everybody. My partner doesn't love Starbucks, but so many people do. And lots of kids, teenagers go there to study and sort of use up the whole space as if it's a library. Thank you, Helen, for your tip. I love the little awnings like this. So nice. Tim Hortons are still your favorite. I don't know that. Free Wi-Fi is what I get. Okay. So that's your priority if you're traveling. Aren't these lovely? These are restaurants and hotels and apartments and all kinds of things. This is just an apartment building, but it just looks so special having that nice kanji written there like that, doesn't it? In that calligraphy way. But it's just normal writing here in Japan. Just normal. Now, you might recognize this particular area because 1 year ago, this is a bit of information I was losing just now. I was trying to explain. I was part of an exhibition that was along this area. We just snuck off to the side to this lovely small showroom exhibition space for artists, and I had a piece of art in my friend's calligraphy exhibition, which was just lovely. And we're still right next to the Kamogawa River, just parallel over there. Otherwise, we're coming up towards the Gion-Shijo area of Kyoto, which is a really, really popular stop to get off and just enjoy everything, be that drinks and food and cafes and also entertainment, because we're not too far from the Minamiza Theatre, which is the first and most important theatre in Japan. Not in Japan, in Kyoto. some people that's Japan, in Kyoto. And it's where kabuki theatre started as well. Hi, April and Justin. Hi, Odette and Katie. Yeah, so there's also, it's not going to be at Minamiza this year, but Ren just mentioned Maiko and Geisha. But last year I had the pleasure of finally getting to see the special, what's it called? Odori. I can't remember the name. I'll see if it comes to me. But Odori is a dance, and I got to see Geisha and Maiko-san performing this incredible dance for 1 hour inside the theater, and it was just wonderful. And it was so perfectly timed. They started at exactly the hour, and then they finished at exactly the hour. No, next to us, if you can see on your map, there's a big streak of blue. That's the Kamogawa River. We are, as my tour announces in the About section, we're on the Takase River, a canal that was created over 400 years ago. I'm going to see what you're saying there, Laurie. Laurie says it's really hard to tell. It's hard to tell what is really local because so many locations are owned by local people. So it's interesting that people yell about the global stuff and smash the windows of something that somebody up the street owns. Curious, are you talking about things in Japan or things where you live, Laurie? Hi, Elizabeth. Kamogawa River is the one adjacent to us, parallel to us. I'm going to sneak over here to this little bit of a bridge because the bridge views are so nice down the middle. And the reflections this morning are just so lovely. Miyako Odori, thank you very much, Ren. That's exactly the one. So for 3 years, I wasn't able to view it, even though I tried to get tickets. Or rather, for 2 years, I couldn't view it because they had to do more private versions of it. A lot of things in Japan still happened despite the pandemic, but they happened without as many viewers or without any viewers. Laurie says that all of the McDonald's, Starbucks, and Tim Hortons and everything are owned by local people. I think that makes them a franchise, right? Oh, there's a nice view just behind me. I'm going to try not to spin you around like crazy. Thank you, Ren. Yeah, it was wonderful. I had such a lovely time. I'm practicing, learning Japanese as well as speaking English all the time. And it's quite a jumble of different words and things that are in my head. Isn't that lovely? I think I'm going to get you a portrait shot here. 3, 2, 1. That's all right. Yeah, I got the word for franchise and Ren got Miyako Odori. So that's good. 3, 2. Oh, let's get a bit more blossom. 3, 2, 1. Who's got lovely Heygo postcards as their phone backgrounds? Do let me know. Right, there's a really nice bit of street art over there. It's a bit rare seeing that kind of thing, but I guess it's art that belongs to the person's house. So bear with me and I'll show you. Just got to cross the road. It would make a good watercolour, wouldn't it? Actually, in my bag, so maybe I'll show you guys later, but in my bag I have watercolours. I don't know if I'm going to follow through, but I'll see. I'm going to see if I can use a bit of the water from the river to do a little watercolour. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you, Lou Anne. That area looks cool, doesn't it? So Laurie said, does this area... Laurie, sorry, I'm getting everyone's little L names mixed up. Laurie says... It's also really difficult because in Japanese it's an R sound. Is does this area get flooded? I've never known this area to get flooded. Of course, the river does get much, much higher, but it seems to ebb and flow quite naturally. But also all the way around Japan, because there are so many typhoons and things that happen around here, they have lots of guttering systems everywhere, even just little ones that we're coming up to in just a moment. Like this, or when you see along other types of roads, you can see full length ones that follow along the roadside. which I might be able to show you in a bit. We're going to come up to a really busy area and get to cross the road in a second. We're going to cross one of the most famous areas. But you know what? I'm going to give you a little view of the river again because it's nice and we're that close to it. Thank you, Joy. Hi, Tony and Mary. So you can have your Kamogawa River shots as well. See people walking their lovely little dogs. You can see this area is starting to get a lot busier. So this is more like the heart of the industry and entertainment in Kyoto. One of the hearts. All of the big major cities like Kyoto and Osaka and Tokyo have so many districts which are so famous for all kinds of entertainment. And if you did happen to find yourself going down one of the roads that would have the Maiko-san, which are trainee geisha, they train for 7 years actually to become geisha, or you find geisha themselves, you're not actually allowed to take pictures of them. So I'm sure you can imagine that when this is really busy with tourists, everybody wants to take a picture of the beautiful Japanese traditional ladies, dancers, entertainers. They're just magicians of speech and music and art and everything, as well as just a picture in themselves. But we're not allowed to take pictures of them. In fact, in the last years, I think in the last 5 or 10, it's become illegal to take pictures of them. Because ultimately, if you see them all dressed up, ready for work, that's what they're doing. They're going to work. And so to stop them from getting to their clients in time and for doing the things that they need to do, it's just not okay, especially seeing as in the whole of Japan, in the whole of the world, there are only 2,000 to 3,000 geisha. I can't remember the exact number right now. Yeah, I meet people all the time that have been to geisha shows or are going to them. They do cost a lot of money, though. They're about $500 per hour to hire a geisha. And you don't want to hire a geisha experience. And before anyone gets the wrong idea, that is not some kind of strange, salacious activity of enjoying a geisha. It is, they play games with you, they talk to you, they entertain you, and they serve tea. And it's a very, very, very traditional experience. Highly, highly qualified, serene entertainers. How could I best describe them? Now, it's been a little while, so we should go get some more close-ups of these blossoms. Let me see what I can do. Illegal to take pictures of geisha and Maiko-san, which are the traditional Japanese entertainers. But I can imagine how just coming into the chat and hearing it's illegal sounds a bit strange. Oh, 1 second. Low lighting there. 3, 2, 1. I think I have to go to the bright lighting. This is a little bit dark over here. Let's go to the brighter ones. That's all right. And hello, by the way. Hi, Brian. And Katie and Odette. Hello, lovelies. Kamogawa River. Kamo. Kamo. Actually, it means duck. And gawa is the connecting version of kawa. Kawa means river by itself. And if you put kamo and kawa together, it becomes kamogawa. Oh, Lethargy says, I feel bad. I thought it was rich businessmen who visited geishas. No, yes, it is, because you need a lot of money to do that. So you don't have to feel bad, but you could realign your thoughts just in case you thought the geisha were adult entertainers. If they are, that's a well-kept secret. But it is technically mostly businessmen that are going to enjoy geishas because of the cost. But also that environment is meant to be a sophisticated environment in which you could conduct business. What should I say? Like improving the relationship of yourself and a business partner. That's probably the best way to describe it. So it's not necessarily where you talk about business. In fact, you probably don't. You're just relaxing. But it is where you would build up a good connection with your potential client or your client. Yeah. Hi, Martin. Nice to see you. Look at these, so lovely. Let me come down here. I don't need to go up too high with that. So pretty. And people love to walk along this riverside that we're on, this canal side, because the water flows so gently. So often people comment on how gently that flows. Tax deductible, I should hope so, Gregory. I'd be putting it on my tax expenses for sure. I reckon so. Yeah, Julie says, I've read books about the geisha and how hard they work to become one. It's quite fascinating. One second. They are closely associated with Japan. It's only natural people want to take photos. There should be fake geisha for tourists to leave real ones alone. That's true. However, as I say many times when, for example, there's a new something on Heygo and people are upset, like, I can't afford to become a sponsor, I understand. And you hear me saying this quite often, but not everyone needs to get to have everything always. Okay? We don't all have everything, and that's fine. That's one of the things that makes everything so interesting. So just because you come to a country and you know something will be here doesn't mean you should have the right to get to take your picture of it. I hope that hasn't come across too rudely, but I hope it's maybe an interesting point to you. There are so many times, especially in Japan, for example, I'll back that up with a little bit more of something. For example, if you go to a concert in Japan, you are not allowed to take photos. And someone has said that in Australia, you're also not allowed to take photos in that situation. But in the UK, if you go to a music festival or something, you can take pictures. So I would expect that I should be allowed to take pictures. In Japan, I can't. And it's just one of the things. It's the rules here, so you don't. And likewise, in museums, you can't just walk around taking pictures of everything. And if you do, you have to take pictures of three paintings or pieces in one go minimum, so that they can't be resold online and things. And I think that's fine. We're so used to, especially in a day of the internet, getting everything we want as and when we want it, personally, I think. And I just don't think it's healthy to expect that we should be allowed to do everything we want just because we traveled, or just because we want to, or just because we hope to. So Dawn, I'm not having a go at you. I'm hoping you're just I'm hoping everyone has, I don't know, got an interesting different perspective on whether or not we should be allowed things just because we've traveled far or just because we want them. Is it a prestigious career? Prestigious as in very important and well recognized, right? Yes. I mean, it pays for your existence. So I think the money that you earn goes to I can't remember the name of the main lady of the house that looks after you. It goes to her. And then that pays for your existence. It pays for all of the makeup and beautiful kimonos and things you need. And kimonos are beyond expensive. Yeah, Joanne says, I saw Michael's getting harassed when I was there. It wasn't nice to see. That's okay. Dawn says, I didn't mean that. I was just thinking a way geisha would not be harassed. But that's what I mean. Like, we come in many countries that we travel to, we expect that people are going to steal our things, right? We think, oh, my phone, my wallet, my something might get stolen from me in this country because I'm used to having that happen. I've been to Europe and I've had someone steal my wallet. I've been to America and I've had someone steal my phone. It's a huge shame. It's not representative of the people that are in the city or the country at all. But when you come to Japan, you're not going to experience that. You're not going to have people stealing from you, and you're not going to have people hitting and harassing you. And it's understood that as Japanese people conduct their daily lives, no one is going to harass a geisha. So, you know, when there's certain countries that you go to, you know that the religious expectations mean that you should cover your arms or cover your legs. It may not be what we like or what we're used to, but yeah, I think it's perfectly fine for Japan to say, don't harass our geishas and maikos, and no, we're not necessarily going to give you substitute ones so that you can harass those ones. It's just, not necessarily nice for anybody. And I'm only conducting a conversation about that. I'm not having a go at anybody. I think conversation is very healthy. Yeah, there are lots of girls in kimonos and things, and you can ask them too. So interesting, yeah, Leslie said, is that a bird singing? So as you cross the crossing, they make a little bird sound. And the reason they do that is for people who have sight impairments, so visual impairments. And that allows them to know that they're at a crossing. So it's a really common thing in Japan. In fact, all of the crossings have that. So around this area, if it wasn't so early in the morning, it's just before 9, but on a weekday. If it was a weekend, you would see people in kimonos around here right now. And if it was on my tour, I would show you them from the back, which is arguably one of the best ways to witness a kimono, because you get to see the lovely bow in the back. Yeah, it requires 7 years of it would require 7 years of training to become a geisha, and so you're a Michael-san when you are training to become a geisha, and your sister, not your biological sister, but your sister lady, she is the geisha and she looks after you. So every geisha has a Michael, and they look after the Michael and train them to be the same as themselves. Now, if anyone is curious, this is the picture this is the picture that I used in the advertising for this tour. Do I do tours of let me see, lots of questions coming in, so bear with me. I'll try and get you some little blossoms while I have a little look. Do you do tours of Gion to show names of Maiko at Okia? No, I don't think I'd be allowed, but some people do. Some people have done in the past. It depends on your connections. So in the future, I might have such connections. We'll see. Who knows? Hi, Robert. So Katie says most museums in the US allow you to take photos unless it's a temporary exhibit. Andy says, I felt safer in Japan than I did in Sydney. And David says the movie Memoirs of a Geisha shows you how much a girl goes through to prepare to be a geisha as a young woman. Yeah, but it is a dying art these days. It is a rare and special thing. And interestingly, when you see them dressed up with their lovely black hair and kimonos, the geisha actually have fake hair. So that's a wig that they're wearing. And the Maiko-san actually have to do it with their real hair. And so every night they sleep on a special ceramic not cushion, not pillow, but effectively working as something like a cushion or pillow. So they sleep on their backs with their hair not being spoiled. So it raises their hair above the squish level of the pillow. I'm going to get you a shot over in that way in just a second, but there's some beautiful ones just along here. Yeah, the pink at the very, very back is such a lovely contrast, isn't it? Hi, everybody. Hi, Louise. Hello. Do you show the Gion area to show where the Maika perform? Ren, I have done that in the past. But I'm not doing that today. Oh, Dawn says it was the first time she ever felt safe when she was in Japan and Korea. In Korea as well, Dawn. I hear it's a little bit different for women in Korea, as in the Korean women that are already there. I hear there are some quite difficult things around there. However, I think it's improved quite a lot over the last decade or so. They even have until recently have had women's only parking areas in Korea. Here's one. This is not cherry blossom related, but here's my money shot of the day. 3, 2, 1. This is why I love it around here. Look at that. I love the power cables. 3, 2, 1. I hope you can see my attraction to them, especially with that, with the areas that had yellow as well in the background. I love yellow. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Pat. Amazing power cables, right? Hi, Nicola. Nice to see you. There's a nice little weeping kind of willow in the foreground of this shot here. I hope you like that. Hi, Sam and Mika. Nice to see you. Ken says Americans are often the worst travelers, signed an American. I don't know. Us Brits can be quite obnoxious, but it's case by case. Case by case. 3, 2, 1. Just gonna, oh, there you go. Realign the gimbal a second. Look at this gorgeous little flower shop. I really want to see it from the other direction. Isn't that lovely? So, everybody, the tour, it is 3 minutes past the official end time of the tour. I'm still happy to keep going for another 10 minutes if you'd like me to, if you'd like to see more of these blossoms, if you're happy with that. And I can get you some more close-ups where I can. And I hope you've had a really lovely time with me. And I hope that if you haven't followed me before, that you consider following me now. Oh, the signal's dropped in this area. I don't know why. And I hope that you'll check out lots of my other tours as well. Mankun did tours of the Gion area and talked about geishas, but I haven't seen him on Heygo for a while. Apologies if anyone had said this. I had the chat turned off. No problem. Yeah, I did an area before as well, actually, and I'll consider doing it again in the future. Don't forget, you can leave me a review and you can say, hey, Kendall, thanks for the tour. It would be awesome to see the Gion area sometime. So just let me know. I've done a tour of Gion Festival and I've done a tour of the Minamiza Theatre from the outside. I'm not allowed inside. But I also walked people through, using my sketchbook, I walked people through the different types of theatre in Japan, being No, the first one, Bunraku, and Kabuki. Kabuki being the famous one here in Kyoto, and it was really fun. I went to see it once, and I've seen Bunraku too, but I have not yet seen No. Thank you. In a few hours, yeah, my next tour. What is it? 9 o'clock now. In 5 hours, actually. So I know so many of you won't be able to come to my next tour. It is going to be really, really special. It's somewhere I've always wanted to go to see the cherry blossoms. I've been there once before to see the castle, and it's outstanding. So it is meant to be the most beautiful castle in the whole of Japan, and even the emoji is based on it. The emoji of a castle is based on that one. Yeah, okay. Atsuko has covered it too. Yeah, there's a special little street that you're not allowed to go down. It's called, what is it, like Pompos Street or something. You're not allowed to go down that street with a camera. And that's where Geisha and Maiko are most often likely to be. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at them. Look at the lovely, lovely little blossoms. They're so beautiful. Yeah, I'm sorry if my next tour is not at a good time for you. What I did is I was really polite with the schedule, and I saw that Delana has a tour a couple of hours before, and there's another tour, Harriet maybe just before that. So I'm usually really polite with the schedule, because not only am I British and we're polite generally, I'm living in Japan, so I'm double polite. It's just a ruin on my constitution. I'm just polite, mostly. Hi, Gillian. That is a gorgeous avatar picture you've got there, Gillian. Thanks, Mindy, so much for the tip, and everybody else who has left me a tip. Or Welcome Charity, my new sponsor. If you do decide to sponsor, I get 75% of your sponsorships. And if you check out on heygo.com/MissKendalJames, you can see what else you get. I am one of the guys that offers physical things, not only physical, but one-of-a-kind handmade things from sponsorships. And by that, I mean watercolor cards, so don't get any kooky ideas. Right now, it is a Thursday. I live in the future for most. The Australians, they live furthest in the future. But I usually experience Christmas and New Year's and all of that before other people. Ken, I nearly said beep off in response to you saying that, which might have proved your point. Now, be quiet. Thanks, Henny, for following me. He said, Brits are polite. And it's not my friend anymore. Yeah, lovely. Oh, where has it gone? Oh, Lovely Leslie. Louise has said, good to mix up the times a bit too. It is, isn't it? It's good to mix it up. And to be honest, most of my voyages are American, and all my friends are night owls. So maybe it works for someone. And you know what? There might not be that many people in Australia and Asia and New Zealand and that on Heygo, but I like to bring them something they can come to too. So hopefully they'll be able to catch some of my tour later. That's understandable, Carol. And often, I can't say enough. I've got tours for every hour of my day, for every hour of everybody else's days. Obviously, I can't service everybody in one go, sadly, but I do my best. Oh, Pamela makes a really good point here. She says, it's so much fun to see different guides in the same areas. Each has a different perspective, and it's so great. And I love you all. I love it. I like this area around here because you can come and hang out here. It's fake grass, but you can come and have beer and eat food, and lots of students love hanging out here. So I think I might walk to the other side of it and show you the blossoms from that direction before I say goodbye to you. But yeah, I like it here, but it's coming up to 9 a.m, so people aren't really doing that right now. I hope you've got some gorgeous postcards, and if you share them online, I will be so delighted. But also, please consider checking out linktr.ee/MissKendalJames to see what other things I make, and, check out my Etsy and other stuff from that too. You can also support me through Heygo and buy me a coffee and other things like that as well. Now, there's a little bit over here where all of the blossoms and the plastic bottles are gathering. It's Thursday, yeah. I think I did say Thursday earlier. It's Thursday. I've got to say that the chat is bouncing around in a very unusual way since the update. When I click something, it all moves in a very strange way. Oh, look. Helen, did you always have a sponsor logo? I don't know. Oh, that's no fun. Okay. It says 8 a.m, no alcohol, no open flames. Wasn't like that last time I was here. I was here with my Japanese teacher. It definitely said alcohol was fine. Helen, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Double happy dance. Thank you so much for becoming my sponsor. That's so, so kind of you. Now, please, please, please make sure you send me an email to kendalljames@mail.com with your address, all of my sponsors and new sponsors, because I'm still sending out daffodil cards. And then at the end of spring, I'll be making cherry blossom cards to send to you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You can be my sponsor for as long as you like or as little as you like, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. It also really lifts my spirits and things as well. It costs a lot of money to get to all of my tours and things, so thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thanks, Henny. Says great tour. Thanks, Bruce, for following. Hello, Dee. Thank you. And actually, if anyone's been enjoying watching my tours on YouTube, you can credit my sponsors with that. It takes a lot of time and effort, but thanks to having so many sponsors, I feel like I can afford a little bit of the time. And there are some of my sponsors that don't even watch my tours. They just want me to keep doing what I'm doing. So if you've been enjoying my tours on YouTube, you can thank my sponsors for that. But thank you all so much for your attendance, your kind reviews, your kind words, and your tips as well. They mean so much and they help me keep doing what I'm doing. So let me just get you one more shot over here and then I'll say goodbye. Me too, Brian. Brian says hungry. I don't know if he was reading my mind, but yeah, I'm hungry. Thanks. David says, thank you. Very beautiful. I will give you an excellent review and also check out your Etsy shop. Well, I'm very excited for that. Thanks, everybody. Please have a look at all of my Blossom tours coming up over the next 7 days. It's going to be short and sweet. That's all we get with the Blossom tours. About 10 days in each location. So I'm going to continue until Maybe until Sunday next week, but definitely until Friday. Okay, so please come and join me for those, and we'll be in lots of different places. Each of my Blossom tours is one time only, so please bear that in mind when you're booking, just once only. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.